I got a Duffy on me, I'm feeling good. The streets talking to me in the hood. I'm doing this exactly how I should. What's not said is understood. Listen to me, I'm on my grind. No matter what, these haters mad. I gotta ask, why you mad at us? Cause I'm on the rise. Yeah, I'm on the rise.
What is going on? This is episode 9 of the Always Climbing podcast. I'm telling y'all, I say it every week. We are rolling. So we're doing 10 episodes total, guys. For everybody that's listening and viewing, 10 episodes in total. This is episode 9. So the next episode is going to be pretty short, but definitely stay tuned because it's going to be very, very important. But not as important as this week. And I'm going to tell you why. Because this week we got our wonderful mothers involved, okay? We're missing, hold on, is this her? Let's see. Admit. Somebody's admitted. I don't know.
Hold on.
Okay.
Ooh, hold on.
So I was gonna say we're missing Jovan's mother, okay? But I think that's her coming in. We got a good one, y'all. We got a good one. It's gonna be a Mother's Day dedication. That's what the whole episode's about, okay?
Can y'all hear me at all?
Yeah, we can.
Yes.
Hi, Deborah.
Okay.
Got no video.
So-
Y'all see me as well?
No, we cannot see
How
you
y'all doing?
No, turn your video on.
unless you look like a Galaxy tab.
Okay. All right. Now y'all want me to do some more fancy stuff. Hold on.
So
At the last minute.
listen, for anybody listening, for anybody viewing, y'all have to forgive. Okay. We've had our fair share of our peers on the podcast, but y'all gotta forgive, you know what I'm saying, our mothers sometimes, you know what I'm saying, the conversations might go a little off topic or something, and you see we got some late attendance, okay? Yeah. Forgive it. Because they've gone through enough, all right?
I know he's not trying to make up no excuses for
A little
me.
technical difficulties.
Technical
difficulties.
Okay. So we apologize, but look, y'all gonna have to forgive it because like I said, you got a problem with it. That's our mama. So don't worry about it.
Turn your camera on, though, ma.
Okay, yeah, we'll work that out. Y'all keep going, okay?
So here's what we're doing, y'all. Okay. We are going to basically talk about a couple things about why we appreciate you all as our mother and what it really means to be a mother, right? Before we get into that, let's do what we always do. Let's hear the introductions, okay? So we got my mother, Rosita Harris, we got Rochelle Hall, and we got Deborah Gardner, okay? So let's hear from every last one of y'all. Just give us a brief rundown, what y'all do for work, where you're from, and then we can move on, okay? So let's start with Rosita Harris. Talk to me. Give the world the rundown of how special you are.
Hello, everyone. Thank you guys for having me on the podcast. I am Rosita Harris. I am Bryce's mom, his mommy. I have 3 wonderful children and a grandchild. I have where I work for Huntington Bank. I am a manager over a mortgage team. So I've been working for Huntington Bank for 34 years. So a long, long time. For years, I did it for my kids to make sure they had what they needed over the years, sacrificed a lot, but it all paid off in the end. So I'm so happy to be here with Bryce and Jovan and Ryan to talk about mothers and how special they are.
That's right. All right, Mrs. Hall, talk to me.
So I'm Rochelle Brown Hall, born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, raised in Youngstown, Ohio, came to Akron, Ohio, fell in love and never left. So I've been here for 35 years. I work for Akron Public Schools. I've been there off and on since 1992. So again, a big number. That will be 30 years in the business of educating children. And I would just say kind of the same as Rosita, like although Ryan is grown, being his mom and his mommy is still an amazing thing because now I'm not just his mom, like he's one of my best friends, one of the people I trust the most in the world.
Tell y'all, hey, y'all gonna learn a lot. All you young mothers, okay? You young men out here, Y'all gonna learn a lot from these wonderful women. Okay, Miss Garner, talk to me.
Oh, I'm still. Can you hear me?
Yeah, let's hear a little
Okay.
bit from you.
Well, since you can't see me, I'm a model and I travel all over. But my name is Deborah Garner. I am a social worker for the state of Ohio, forensic social worker. I am Jovan Fair's mother, and I'm just glad to be invited.
For sure, man. Y'all better get y'all notebooks ready if you listening and watching, okay? Because we're gonna learn a lot. Now, how do we start the conversation on Mother's Day? Okay, Mother's Day is supposed to be something that is less stress for mothers, right? I feel like a lot of times with holidays, it's more stressful for mothers than anybody else in the family. Thanksgiving, Christmas, nobody else is worried about moms but themselves, right? It's like, yo, for years, I hate to admit it, for years, my mother's stocking was empty, right? You know what I'm saying? Like she filled everybody else's stocking. I'm like, hold on. Talking to my dad, like, hey dad, we gotta get this together, man. You and me, we gotta work together. We gotta change that, right? So mothers a lot of times make all the more sacrifices than anybody in the household. And that's the reason I really don't like the holiday of Mother's Day. Do I celebrate it? Absolutely. But there's a lot of holidays like that it just bothers me because it limits our appreciation for our moms, like just to one day. A lot of people, they save the flowers, they save the gifts, they save the appreciation all the way until Mother's Day, right? And that's something that just bothers me personally. I just think mothers deserve way more than that. You guys deserve way more than that. And I'm sure us as sons could do a lot better, just showing appreciation for everything that you've done. So that's the only part of this conversation that I want me, Jovan, and Ryan to kind of lead and just kind of talk about, not necessarily direct stories, but just what are some things that you appreciate from your mom? Mom, I've told you multiple times, I'll start, I just always have appreciated the fact that, no matter what I'm going through, everything I'm dealing with, even though it's just unintentional, just the fact that you are up and awake all the time. You know what I'm saying? So like sometimes I'll be coming home, especially back in the day, I would come home late. And sure enough, I'm walking in at 12:30 at night. My mom's just sitting right on the couch, ready to talk to me about my day, ready to give me advice, ready to be the support that I need. And I've always appreciated that, because those are, to me, have been our most valuable talks, is when it's late night, everybody else is asleep, and me and my mom just kicking it. We watching the news or something and having that time together. I've always loved that about our relationship. And that's definitely one thing that I definitely appreciate, not to mention all of the sacrifices that we don't need to necessarily get into. But, I know how many sacrifices you and dad have made over the years. So I appreciate you guys for that. Ryan or Joe, go ahead. Just give them the flowers they deserve real quick, man.
So my mom, in case y'all can't see, this is my twin. Me and my mom have always been very close. And part of that is I have a tendency, I'm a little abrasive, blunt. The way I say things is not always the best. But my mom has always understood that, and she's kind of the same way. So like we can always have these, Bryce especially from when I was younger, me and my mom can have what sounds like this vicious, crazy argument, but it's really us just kind of getting our thoughts out and having a discussion. So I guess what I love the most about my mom is that my mom's always kind of like a waypoint. Like she keeps me on track, and she can articulate things in a way that makes sense to me, because unless you're one of my really good friends, I'm really a tweak and nobody knows. So
I'm sure they could tell.
Like my mom, like she can make it make sense to me. She always cares about me. I mean, like, they always say, a lot of parents have that mindset of, when you're 18, I'm done with you. Like, get out of my house. You're on your own. You're an adult now. I mean, all the way, I'm 25 now. I mean, what was that? Last week, I lost my car keys, and I'm like, Mom, I need you to take me to work. It's 10 o'clock at night. Come get me, please.
And don't forget about the fried chicken and cabbage that you just threw down on.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, she always knows, like, what my favorite meal is, when she's gonna cook it, like, all type. I mean, she just always looks out. She always looks out. And kind of like she was saying when she first started was, she's always gonna be my mom. She still is my mommy, and she's also one of my best friends. And I mean, she just really makes the world go round. So I love my mom.
Like you.
Yeah.
All right, Joe, your turn.
All right. Mom, anytime I talk about my mom, I get a little nervous because I don't feel like I'm gonna say enough or say what's gonna do her justice. She played so many roles. She played my mom. She was my dad, my best friend, my first friend, and a hero always, and continues to be my mentor. She's someone that I talk to literally every day for hours on end. And sometimes I'm like, Ma, I gotta go, whatever. She's like, all right, just one more thing. And then it turns into a whole another 30 minutes. But those are things I appreciate, and she really made me appreciate people, giving, caring for people. I remember when I tore my ACL, and this is something that you would think a mother should do, but I never heard her complain, never say anything about it. She would take me when I had ACL surgery for my knee for 6 months straight to get therapy, 20 minutes away, twice a week for 6 months, and not say a word about it. So I would go in and watch wrestling practice, and she would let me organize it. And this is crazy to think about. She let me organize it where I could watch wrestling practice and watch football practice because I love being around sports, and that was my getaway, and still go and get my therapy sessions in. And she waited an hour and a half in the parking lot and then take me back home. And the sacrifices she made for her personal life to now taking care of my grandparents, it's like I can't even fathom. I look at her as for what I want to do and prepare for myself to when she gets older, how to take care of people and how to treat people. And she's a hero to me. It's not enough I can really say about her. But I appreciate all that you do for me and continue to do for me. And I still lean on you, and I'm still your baby boy at the end of the day.
First of all, that was well said. But is that the dog in the background, dog, dude? Like,
oh yeah, I gotta get my money. I'm sorry. Yeah. Y'all want to see?
Oh, is that the dog?
Y'all got a whole roommate. You got a roommate over there. That's not a dog. That is a behemoth.
That's a horse.
Like, if you're watching, you understand why there's a background noise. If you're listening, trust me, we just witnessed a bear in the living room.
Y'all getting a raw version of the AC today.
Rustling over there.
Okay? Like, I'm saying, like, Jovan, you saying great things, but what is going on in the background? Okay, I was just wondering. All right, let's go back. Here's the thing that I like about the three women that you guys are looking at or listening to, is the thing about me, Ryan, and Jovan is we could say the same thing about each and every one of these women because they're all our moms, right? These three women are all our mothers. You know what I'm saying? They've all made sacrifices for us. You know what, Mrs. Hall, you know the main thing you sacrifice is probably some carpet shampoo from the milkshakes and the Sprites on the spilled in your room or your car. And then Miss Gardner, I know you don't sacrifice so much gas and money on the 32-ounce steaks that we used to absolutely crush in high school.
Well, I wanted to say one thing too, Bryce. I just wanted to say that really took a village. That I don't feel like. First of all, I'm so proud of you guys. First of all, for everything you all have done and accomplished is just amazing for young men your age. But I could not have done it without the help of your parents, of your, the two mothers sitting with us today. I call Miss Hall the wrestling mother, and I call your mother the football mother. I remember there used to be a football game, and I know I've told y'all this story several times, but there was a football game, and I remember Javon coming back in my room. He was like, Bryce's parents were there. And I was like, well, give me an application because I'm tired. I can't make it to every game. But y'all were there to support Javon. So it just takes a village to do it. I never, even when my parents got sick, I didn't have to worry about running back because I knew he was taken care of. So I just, again, and I know I tell y'all this all the time, how much I appreciate it because like I said, it takes a village, and you all were my village, is what I'm saying.
Yes.
But I feel the same way. And I respect the men that you all raised, right? That, yes, we're all each other's village. Like, because Miss Deb, I think we can all say the same thing. Like, everybody, we're all each other's village. And like Bryce said, they could say mom, all three of them could say mom to all three of us, right?
Right, exactly.
And so I just feel like there, every major moment that they had, we've all shared it together. They've been friends for so long. Like, and I love you all, even though we don't see each other that much, because of the same stuff that you're saying, that everybody worked together. And like, there's so many funny stories. I don't remember if you remember telling Jovan, we was at Peacemakers and they was going to leave for college. And you said, I'm going to buy me a pie and I'm going to put it in the refrigerator. And then about a week later, I'm just going to go back and look at it because it's going to be there.
Okay. Yeah, but I just want to let you know how much I appreciate it. And even when Devon was wrestling, like, he would be the last one. We would start at 9 o'clock in the morning and it'd be 11 o'clock at night. The hog would still be there. I would want to leave, but I said, I can't leave as a hog to stand. You know, I gotta stay. So we would be there all day. They would wait to the very end till he finished, even though their son was finished and they could have been home fixing dinner and sleep.
We'll go to work. Right. We had to stay.
They were there to the very end.
Well, mothers, let's just transition, since y'all have already started the conversation, which I love. Let's just talk about how just being a mother, whether for us, you know, or the friends, has changed y'all lives. There's so many questions that I know the three of us have. I got some serious questions, but just like, how has being a mother really changed your life? If you got any comments.
I do. So I'm gonna just tell the truth. Like, I'm damaged. Right? I came from a very violent home with all kind of madness going on. So I didn't want a husband or children. And so becoming a mom changed me, because sometimes you take, like what you all were saying, you take what your parents gave you and you use it. I had to take a lot of what my parents gave me and get rid of it, right, to become a mom. And so it was work. From day one, it was work. And I felt so damaged. Like, I went into a counseling office before my oldest son is born. And I was like, I think I'm going to abuse my children. He's like, why? I was like, because that's all I know. And the lady was like, well, I don't think you are, because you're here. And so that was my first step into motherhood. The next thing that happened was, and Miss Deb jokes about this sometimes, she's like, you're so bossy. Like, I'm a know-it-all. And the first time I knew I didn't know something was when I became a mom, right? So it completely changed my life, because it was a work that I didn't know how to do. Like, I was always that kind of person, I could figure it out. But motherhood really changed me, because I had to work at it, because it's not what I came from. And stability is not what I came from. So for me, that is the most important thing, that it was work and it was decisions on how to do things. It wasn't just, I'm gonna let my kids grow up. It's, I'm gonna raise my kids a certain way. And me and Ryan were even joking about this the other day. Like, I kind of handpicked y'all, right? Because certain kids, they weren't allowed to come to my house. Mm-hmm. Certain kids wasn't allowed to spend the night at my house. Like, because I was working at being the right kind of mother, and certain kids and certain people didn't fit into that. So yeah.
For me, I growing up in a large family, I have, 5 sisters and 2 brothers. So I grew up in a, huge family. We did everything together, and this sister took care of the youngers, and so forth. And with my mom, I always looked up to her because, even though I didn't know at that time, she was grooming me to become a mom. She taught me how to take care of my younger sisters and brothers, and eventually how to cook and things like that. And I always looked up to my mom to say that when I become a mom, I want to be like that. And so a lot of the things that I learned when I was younger were things that I used when I became a mom myself. But it taught me a lot of patience and understanding, even when I was younger, how to take care of my younger sisters and brothers. I transformed a lot of that over to me being a mom. with my, kids. And a lot of the things that I transpired to them was from what I had when I was younger. So, yeah. It was nice. I always wanted a big family. I probably would have had more than three if I wouldn't have started having kids at an older age. But, I wanted them to have the life that I had when I grew up. And to this day, Bryce will tell you, we're still the same. My sisters, we're still just like we see each other. It's just like we can't be separated. It's like we're glued together.
Oh
So,
yeah, holidays. Oh yeah,
yeah,
my dad
yeah,
got work at 6:30 in the morning. We there till 12. You know what I'm saying? We go to a restaurant.
yeah.
We just went to Cheesecake Factory not too long ago. We were there at 6:30. We didn't leave till 9:30. I don't understand, but hey,
It's family. Mm.
Hmm. Well, as you very well know, Javon is my only child, and we are extremely close. And I just have enjoyed being a mother. I think it changed my life. I had him a little bit older as well. And I really thought it was going to change things for me. Like, I'm not going to be able to travel anymore. I'm not going to be able to go out and stuff. But like I said, because I don't have any sisters, but you couldn't tell me he doesn't have 4 aunts or 5
Mhm.
aunts, besides his wrestling mom and his football mom. He has, some friends who have really stepped up all through his life just to support him. And I've always told him, if you can't talk to me about something or you need something, you have Donna, you have Sonia, you have Brenda, and these people that you can go to. And they have just have been inspirational in his life since birth. So I have just enjoyed it. I think because probably didn't go through a lot of problems that a lot of people went through. I didn't have a lot of problems
Mhm.
with Javon growing up. They called me the Firestone one time because I don't know, he let some girl use an MP3 player. So I was like, what's his consequence? I'm like, get him. What's his consequence? But because they liked him so, there was never any kind of consequences. So it's been a pleasure,
Mhm.
only because I didn't have to worry about coming in the house smelling like something or,
Mhm. Mhm.
finding beer cans. I didn't have to go through any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
fun.
you might have
It's a
found
blessing.
We
some
had a lot of
PS2
fun.
disc under his bed or something, but that's it.
Yeah, that's
PSP
it.
games that he didn't have because he borrowed them from me or something, but that's about it.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, or a shirt or something, which I never could understand, but we ain't gonna talk about that. But but like I said, it was a pleasure
Mm.
actually. So it was just I appreciate him, and we remain, even though he's in Pennsylvania. You couldn't tell me he was not right here
Yep.
because I pick up and call whenever I feel like calling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I like that you brought up the fact that he still has aunts and stuff, regardless, because at the end of the day, any children that I have in the future, they gonna have Aunt Anissa and Uncle Blake, but they gonna be deep this way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They gonna be deep this way because Uncle Marty is gonna say one thing, Uncle AB gonna say the other thing, Uncle Ryan gonna say the next, Uncle Joe just gonna be real
Yeah.
laid back. Hold on. I'm disconnecting my headphones. But
Yeah.
you guys all said some things that you took from your parents or said absolutely not. Is there any comments that you have towards your parents and how you were raised that's like, I absolutely really appreciated this, so I had to make sure I raised my kids this way, or I absolutely hated this and I said I'm never doing that, like, to my kids? Is there anything that comes to mind when I ask that question?
Well, I think for me, I recently lost my dad, and they were
Mhm.
married for 70 years. So he just had a good role model, in my parents. And my mother was just the type that reached out to everybody and helped, when anybody got sick, she would, fix some food and, care for them. And, she was a very big caregiver. And I think that's where Javon kind of gets that big, from me, but from her as well. He has like a big heart when it comes to that kind of stuff, because the things that he does for his grandmother are things that most men wouldn't do, you know. So,
Right.
I'm just very thankful for that, him being able to be raised, by me as well as my parents. So,
And for me, um, and Bryce knows, on both sides of the family, his dad and me, my parents and My in-laws, the same thing. You know, he's always had them behind him for anything. And even if it's just a simple, I just want to have a conversation with you. It doesn't have to be, them giving him anything, but they've always been there for him. And I looked up to them the same way. And I wanted to make sure that Bryce knew that they're always there for you as well. So it's a blessing he still has them in his life. So he can still reach out to them. They get a kick out of watching, even like Jovan and Ryan, they know them because they've seen them in, graduations and things like that. And they'll see pictures of them and say, oh, that's Jovan, or oh, that's Ryan. So it's just amazing to see everything's full circle, and how you guys have grown up to become so successful. And I love that you're still so close. And it's just a wonderful thing. It just makes me smile all of the time when I see, what you guys are accomplishing. So, yeah.
And your mother is so classy. I just want to be like her.
Oh, God.
Yeah, they work together. Yeah, she's still the same, Deborah.
Yeah.
Okay. A keep would be like from my raising, extended family. Like he knows all of his cousins, all of my aunts, all of my uncles. Like my dad was the oldest of 11, so that's definitely a keep. And we kept that, and we still keep it going. We're always an integral part of like the Brownside family reunion. Something that I did very differently was that discipline needed to be about the children, not about the parents' anger, right? And so we made sure that every time our kids got disciplined, they knew what the issue was. Like they can count, like, people today is like, oh, you shouldn't whoop your kids. They got whoopings, but they can count every single whooping they got. They know what it was for, and they can laugh about it because they know they deserved it, right? So it was never about like our anger or whatever. It was about whatever they had done. So that was something I did very different than my parents. But the keep is definitely that extended family piece.
Oh, God. Now, Mrs. Hall, Ryan's laughing. I know why he's laughing. The same reason I'm trying not to laugh. Now,
talk about it.
Now, we're not here to get anybody in trouble, okay? We all grown now, and here's the thing. Looking back, it wasn't as bad. But I will say, sometimes Ryan would get in trouble when I was over there, and I thought I was watching Roots. But listen, we're not here to get nobody in trouble. Not because she was disciplining so hard. It was just because like I was just like Ryan was just so dramatic, first of all. And I'll just be downstairs like, I don't want to hear that. I had to say it.
Stressed, bro.
But that's because Ryan was so dramatic, though. Really.
I was sensitive, bro. I was a sensitive.
Ryan would come home with B's and just be absolutely flabbergasted, thinking he's about to get in
He might have had F's the way he would act about B's.
Bro, I was disgusted.
Oh,
and I think people really don't understand that is that like pain is relative. Like pain is relative. So like the best way I explain, I tell people this all the time, especially when I'm at work, even though it might seem minor to you, that legitimately might be the worst thing that has ever happened to somebody in their life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you got to think, when you get hungry, you be like, it's whatever. I'm grown. I'll eat later when I get home. But like for a baby, bro, that's the literal worst experience they've ever had in their life. So it registers as a 10 for them.
Right.
Whereas for us, it's like a 1.
Makes sense.
So like, you have to understand, bro, when I got that B, because I know exactly what you're talking about. I got that B in art in the 4th grade because I came to your house after school on the last day of school. I know exactly what day you're talking about. And I
thought he was about to get beat.
That's not why I was mad. That's not why I was mad. Bro, my mom told me if I got straight A's, she was going to get me a weed. And I didn't get straight A's. I was heated about the weed, bro. It didn't have nothing to do with me thinking I was going to get in trouble. I'm like.
But look, bottom line, we needed the discipline. And we can talk about it real quick and move on. I agree. You know, the way y'all disciplined us, whether it was whippings or timeouts, getting grounded, taking phones, all of that was
Singing the
necessary.
national anthem.
Because like Mrs. Hall said perfectly, literally, it all had intention. They all had a reason. It was never because they came home and was just mad. We got disciplined because we did something stupid. And that's just how it should be.
Thanks.
Is there ever a time, just as we transition a little bit, is there ever a time, moms, where you were very, very afraid and worried for us and did not tell us?
Well, you guys were athletes too,
Yeah.
so that comes with part of being, a mother of an athlete. But for me, watching him on TV get hurt
Yeah.
and them carrying him off on a cart and I'm so far away, that kind of really, was kind of hard.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because he called me after every game.
Mm-hmm.
So, for him to be hurt and see him, you don't know what's going on and all, everybody surrounding him. So, but other than that, I know y'all traveled in packs. So I felt always safe younger because, you know what I mean? He thought he was part of your family. He really thought Rosita had 4 kids. So, I knew that he was always, with one of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So younger, I didn't have that fear that probably people would have today.
Mm-hmm. I have to agree with Deborah. Same thing. When you guys were growing up, when Bryce would be, whether he was over at Ryan's, whether he was with Jovan and Deborah, it was like he was at home, and because I knew that he was taken care of and he was safe. But with him growing up being a athlete, I will say that that was one of my fears, was him getting hurt, physically hurt, on the field. And he did at times. And, I would hold my breath, making sure that everything was okay. And same when he went to college. And that was one of my biggest fears was, I knew he loved the sport and I knew he wanted to play, and him getting hurt and, not being able to do it, or, something really, really being wrong. Like he has to have surgery and this and that, although I'm going to be there for him, no matter what, but that was a fear for me too.
And mine is very interesting because he's a police officer now.
Right. Yeah.
So when he would come home from wrestling practice, he would stay at school, do his wrestling, do his homework, do his wrestling practice. By the time he gets home in the winter, it's dark. And then he would want to run. And he would run down Hawkins Avenue and back. And I didn't tell him till he was older, but I was so afraid the police were going to see a young man running, a young Black man in a sweatsuit running, and think he had done something wrong and that they would do something to him. And so it's very ironic now that he's a police officer, and that was my fear. I was so afraid. And so from the time he would leave until the time he would get back, I would be almost frozen in fear, but I would never tell him not to go because he wanted to put in that extra work. And I didn't want him to fear his neighborhood. Like we had always taught them to not fear your neighborhood, but I would almost be frozen in fear, not of the neighborhood, but that the police would see him and think he had done something wrong.
I could see that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
definitely.
I mean, I know there had to have been some fear, at least from the athlete mom's perspective, just like of even with Ryan running, you know what I'm saying? Just like us putting in that extra work, doing these things that we're committed to. Just never, we us as athletes and stuff, and as youngins, we just never thought about it. It was just like, mom, come on, mom, I'm trying to go to the league. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't worry about me. I got this. But I understand as a parent, it's like, yeah, your baby could get hurt and harmed. So that's why I was really, really curious about that question, just to see like, what did y'all just keep from us, just so we could stay happy. So thank you for sharing. As we just come, let's do a full 180, and I promise we almost done. Anybody listening and watching, right now, okay, this is gonna be posted on Mother's Day, but we're a couple days before Mother's Day, and it's a little late. Okay, so I know our mothers got to get their beauty sleep. So I just got to ask though, let's do a full 180. We talked about the most afraid. I'll give you two options. You can answer both if you want. What's the most rewarding thing about being a mother? Or what's your most proud moment from your son that is sitting here on this podcast? I'll let you answer one or the other or both.
I like how you
I'm
phrase
proud
that.
of all. I'm proud of all three of you guys. Just all your accomplishments. That you've have done, and just But I guess just watching you all succeed. You know, making good choices.
Anything else?
Same here. S- your success from when you guys were little. I remember when Bryce, when you played t-ball, just every little thing, not just from graduating from college and that, but just your success from growing from this little boy, moving on through elementary school, and then growing a little bit more each stage. You grew a little bit more. You got a little bit more confidence in yourself, and I just think it's great just seeing the evolution of this little baby growing up to be the successful young man, doing his thing right now. It's just awesome, and it makes me so proud when I see it every day. I just love it. So
I like the other mothers. I feel like I'm so proud of you all. I remember taking your picture at graduation
yeah.
and thinking like, where they all gonna be like 5, 10, 7, 8, 9 years from now. And all of you, not just the three of you that are here, like
Yes.
all of you are making us so proud. So I think in general, that is definitely something that makes me proud. A specific moment when Ryan graduated from basic training down in South Carolina, when it was a decision that he made on his own, one that I didn't necessarily want him to make, and he graduated. Like, that was an amazing, proud moment for me. As far as me being a mother or being proud of him. So I feel like there's that general, yes, I'm so proud of him and so proud of them. But that moment, seeing him really become his own man, I think was definitely defining.
Go Ryan.
Yes.
I said go Ryan.
Oh, okay.
For sure.
I was like, uh-oh, what I do?
Well, thank you for sharing again. My one of my most final questions is specifically geared towards the two grandmothers. What's the difference between having your own and now having grandchildren? What's that experience like? And how has it been rewarding for you?
You want to go first, Rochelle? Me?
I'll go first. Stop it. Stop it. One, they say I'm soft, Bryce. Roots is over. So I think the difference is you've already made your mistakes. So with your children, as much as you all honor us as moms, we made some mistakes. And whether it was intentional or unintentional, you do damage to your children. And I don't think any of the three of us did it intentionally, but you do damage to your children. When it's your grandchild, that's somebody else's is going to get that part. You only get the good part. You don't have to do the hard work that we talked about earlier in raising your children. So when you become a grandparent, you kind of get a little bit soft.
Yeah.
A little bit. A little bit.
Yeah.
That's what we call
I have to agree with that one. I have to agree with it. She's only 8 months old, but I have to agree that, I look at her, she reminds me so much of, some of the things she does reminds me so much of all of my children, things that they did, but I have to agree that she's mine's to spoil, and it's Anissa and Jordan's job to raise her as their child, but she's mine's to spoil. She's kind of like mine's to do all the fun stuff with.
Well, I
And
mean,
then I can give her back to them.
I experienced that from all four of my grandparents growing up. I
Mhm.
mean,
Facts.
you know,
Oh,
especially
yeah.
one side of my grandparents. Every Friday they took us to get ice cream, and I will admit, me and my older sister were very spoiled. Blake wasn't around yet, but I mean, like, he would say no blatantly, like, and we would just be like, please, please. Next thing you know, get in the car. Hey, we get ice cream every Friday. So I understand, like, and I was just curious, like, what y'all perspective was, because yeah, y'all are soft, and I agree.
Absolutely.
Grandparents are soft. And now that you've
Miss,
heard me
well,
say
Miss
that,
Hall, that's your twin. Me and
oh,
Javon left
absolutely,
all the way back home from the wedding. That's your twin.
The exact
100%.
same.
That baby
That
looks
is
just like you. That don't make any sense. Just that resemblance.
Facts. I'm telling you.
I agree, Bryce, and we watched our parents
It
do
was-
that with y'all, right?
Yeah.
Like I just remember my dad. Remember, I just said I was damaged, right? And I remember watching him with my kids, right? So y'all know Bubba, right? Bubba did. Do y'all believe that? No,
hold
because
on.
when he
You
was
cut out.
around y'all,
You cut out. What'd you
Right.
say?
Bubba, my
What'd he
dad, did the damage, right?
Oh.
Y'all don't believe that because you saw how he was with y'all.
Oh
He
yeah.
spoiled
Hey
all
Ryan.
y'all.
Hey Ryan. Hey Ryan.
Y'all gonna stop laughing about my daddy
Hey,
falling about
Ryan.
that
Hey Ryan.
Stop laughing
Nah,
about my daddy
Ryan.
falling out that
We're not gonna do it today. But just know, all right.
but just so you all saw that firsthand with him. I'm telling you, I'm damaged from him, but then he didn't just spoil my kids, he spoiled all of y'all.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. It's a
Soft.
grandparent. Yes. Yeah.
Hey, we knew if we wanted some McDonald's, he was gonna say something reckless, but he was gonna be like, "Here,
That's
get on my
right.
face."
Every time. Well, we could close it by one more question. We have learned so much from y'all, obviously, right? Like, you guys are the reason that we have our heads on straight. And trust me, we see some of our peers, and you know, me and my workplace, by keeping it as professional as possible, I've seen the opposite side of parenting. I'll just leave it at that. Okay. You guys have definitely done your best raising us, and I'll tell you right now, I'm very thankful for it. And I know Ryan and Jovan are as well. So we've learned so much from y'all. I know, Mrs. Hall, you said you guys have made some mistakes, but my question is, like, if there's anything, just give me one thing that we taught you that your children taught you. Is there anything that comes to mind when I ask that question? Like, anything, not even just us, your other children as well. Think on it.
You mean what did I learn from Javon?
Yes. Is there anything that just like, just by raising him, or even him as an adult, is just like, yo, mom, this,
I
like,
think it's unconditional love, patience, you know, because he's a very patient person, you know. But for the most part, we get along so well. We got a few things, you know, like he hates to shop, you know. We got a few things, but other than that, I would say patience.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
I would too.
Unconditional love.
Patience, understanding. I know this sounds footballish, but trust in the process. You know what I mean? Like I think having kids, Jovan, I think having kids, you know, you kind of have to step back and not take things so seriously. But you have to make sure they're okay. So just making sure that, you know, we look at them and say they're going to be okay. Like I look at them now, you know, and there have been many times that I would worry about things and this and that, and it's like they're going to be okay. They've taught me to know that they are going to be okay.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I think you know, it shows here, you know, that, you know, I did worry, you know, at times and things like that, because I'm just like that, you know, that's what moms do. But look at them, you know, they're okay. So, yeah.
I think Miss Deb said it, unconditional love. I think when you're a mom, that's something that is just that unconditional love. As far as him being an adult, like he said, I'm his mirror or check person or keeps him in line. Like he's the same for me. Like he doesn't let me get away with remembering things wrong. He doesn't let me get away with, with saying things wrong. And even the stuff, like when I say damage, even the stuff that I did that wasn't right, like he makes sure that I know and understand, like, or reflect on that in the right way. So.
Well, I loved it. I love this episode. I've learned a lot from you guys. I know everybody else has. We do takeaways every time. Ryan and Jovan, let us three handle the takeaways. 15-second
I just want to say one thing, Bryce, that
okay.
I had suggested a parent corner a while back. I've had a lot of suggestions for the broadcast, and usually it ends up with Jovan saying, I gotta go. And so I always tell him I'm gonna call you directly, so I will.
Please do. So we're gonna do our 15-second takeaways. Okay. I'll let y'all go first. Either one of y'all, just literally 15 seconds. Just something about Mother's Day. It doesn't have to be about your mom. Just something about Mother's Day.
Mother's Day is overrated. You gotta love your mom all the time, every day, every weekend. Don't hold it to Mother's Day because you don't know how many Mother's Days are left, but you got a whole lot of days left.
Right.
In summary, I love my mama. I love my other mamas. And I appreciate all of you guys. And I promise you, y'all make our wives and women's lives hell because y'all are the standard. Y'all are the standard. Like, listen here. Y'all set the bar high. So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And y'all have taught us so very much. So that's all I got.
Love you too.
Well said. Well said.
Yep. And for me, I got other moms. I got Temple mom. I got a football mom. I got all different forms of mothers. So first, I want to say I love each and every one of y'all, and definitely just show gratitude and appreciation for your mother. Any day, like Ryan said, don't let it just be on Mother's Day. And it doesn't have to be on Mother's Day or Valentine's Day or whatever day you want to show appreciation to your mom, to send flowers, to take her out to dinner, do the nice things that you want to do with your mother, because you never know how many days you have with them left, which is why my mom taught me when I was little, always say I love you when you go off the phone with someone that you appreciate and love. And that's why I get, every time I talk to, Bryce's mom, Ryan's mom, friends that I have, and, my other aunts, I always say I love you before I get off the phone. So make sure you say I love you and anything that you need to say to that person the last time you see him, as if it was going to be the last time you see him.
Yes, sir. And if anybody listening and watching, I'm telling y'all, Jovan ain't playing about that. All right, that's the one thing he did learn, and he don't play about that. The other day, listen. Some people think it's weird for like guy friends to say I love you and stuff, but like me and Jovan, we say that after every phone call. But like the other day, Jovan said I love you, and I didn't hear him, and he snapped on me. I was about to hang up. He was like, he must have said love you. I was like, all right, bro, I'm about to hang up. He said, I said I love you. I was like, damn, dude.
True story,
bro. That literally true story just happened the other day. I'm like, bro, I didn't hear you, bro. I don't know what to tell you. What I got to say is, I'm very heavy in the Bible. I am a Christian. That does not mean that I know exact scriptures, but I do know in the Bible. I just read it yesterday. I'm reading Matthew right now, and it said, as simple as it is, honor your father and mother. Right.
That's right.
I think I don't think we really understand in today's world what that really means. Honor them. You know what I'm saying? Put them on the pedestal because they deserve it, right? Give them all the respect in the world. There should never be no arguments. I hear sometimes my teammates arguing with their moms and they calling their moms all types of crazy words. I snap on them every time because it just makes me mad because like whether she was the best woman in the world or the worst woman in the world, she raised you, right? Whether you learn the top things that you want to keep or the things that you want to leave, she raised you, right? And she tried her absolute hardest. No mother's not going to try their hardest. They may not be perfect, but they're always going to try their hardest. Honor that, right? Honor them. It doesn't just stop when you turn 18. Honestly, it should get even more. It should go into hyperdrive when you turn 18 and you're on your own. Because guess what? Now you got a little bit more money in your pocket. You can spend a little bit on your mom. I couldn't get my mom some Christmas gifts, but like now I can, you know what I'm saying? And it goes past that, like Jovan said, like Ryan said, it's every day. Honor your parents, not just your mothers, your fathers. Honor your grandparents, because your grandmother is special too, especially on Mother's Day. Okay, your aunts that have been involved, your friends' moms that have been involved. Honor them, give them hugs, give them grace, give them love. That's all I got. I appreciate everybody that's been on the podcast. I appreciate everybody that's been listening and watching. We got one more, y'all. Next week, we're going to just talk about the future of AC. And it's a lot, okay? It's just going to be me and Jovan. We're going to talk it over and close out the first season. So happy Mother's Day to all of the moms out there. If you're listening, if you're watching, we will be sharing this. So happy Mother's Day. Enjoy it. Kick back. Y'all don't worry about nothing. Get your spa coupons, all of that. Get your flowers and watch your favorite movie, okay? Let your kids do all the work. And if they got a problem with it, tell them to come see me. All right. I love you all. I appreciate everybody.
Love you too.
Yeah, I love everybody.
Love
Happy
you
Mother's Day.
guys.
Happy Mother's Day, Deb and Rosita.
Same to
Happy
you.
Mother's Day.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I don't even know where